Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Sunless Skies. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you chose to join me today as we look for a momentous exploit. Because that's the last thing we need to complete our ambition, and I looked it up on my notebook. It is a momentous exploit, and I don't know how to get it because I haven't looked it up online yet. However, last episode we found Langley Hall, which is the last big location of the game, I believe, from all the locations that we've been to. And this place is scary. I was saying that this is like my own personal hell. I remember when I was a kid, I don't have that anymore. My dreams are very different, but when I was a kid, I dreamt, or actually they were nightmares, recurrent nightmares of big houses. Usually, it wasn't necessarily all of them nice like this one. This one is very nice. It's like a full-on mansion, and it's got parties everywhere. But it's like room after room and all that sort of stuff. And those were my nightmares because I was basically lost in a mansion. And every time I went on to another room, it was just another room, and just another room, and just another room. And the format changed a little bit. I think, if I remember correctly, I had like three different types of nightmares for that. But yeah, so it's like this brings back memories, and it's really scary for me. But it is a video game, and I will not be scared by a video game, I tell you. So I will hang my coat and hat up, and because I plan to be here for a while. And we're gonna find Lord Langley. A jovial doctor in a taupe waistcoat manages the cloakroom. This way, doctor. I'm a doctor as well, or I suppose that's my name, or pronoun. Let's see if we have any space left. He guides you to a hat stand nestled between a vast tower of wigs and a row of pinstriped suits. Do let me know if you find anything interesting during your stay here, he says, so that I can avoid stumbling across it. You'll linger for a time at Langley Hall. Okay. And I can recover my hat. Let's explore Langley Hall, a house... not just the hat, the coat as well. A house bounded on the outside, but inside, endless. Langley Hall extends as long as it likes, without interference from the laws of measurement, architecture, or probability. Some floors are littered with rooms like the inside of a beehive. Others contain but a single room. Doors rarely connect one or more rooms at a time, Lord Langley having apparently preferred his guests get some exercise when moving from their bedrooms to the library in search of a nightcap. Langley Hall stretches on for lifetimes. To find anything in the labyrinth, you'll need to go exploring. Going from floor to floor, or even from room to room, one is often confronted with a staircase. These can vary between 3 and 300 stairs, and there's no guarantee that on descending one, you won't immediately be confronted with one going up. And we can have a strength check, or not, it's actually irons, whatever. We have hearts, and we just have hearts. That also involves us losing crew, apparently, because we can send an expedition. I can exchange an unlicensed chart for help with your map of Langley Hall. I actually have a few, so this will gain me 15 staircase spelunking. I do enjoy a good dose of staircase spelunking. However, I do have moment of inspiration, so I'll just use those instead. I'm going to exchange a moment of inspiration for help with your map of Langley Hall. A sardonic music hall singer has been here for years. She knows her way around the place and will assist you in exchange for help with a song. Bloody marvelous! You're a wonder, you are! She recovers herself. I mean, it's all right. Liven up in the drawing room for sure. Now, have you been this way? I got a pen. Can't find anything in this place for love nor money. She pauses. Well, maybe love. She makes a few adjustments to your map. And the smell of champagne rises from below, along with the unmistakable scent of fireworks. And now I can open a kitchen door. I can also embark on an expedition. It's the freaking expedition that'll use my supplies. It's a good thing I bought some before. Excuse me. Before I came in here, because we can't access the shop from here. So I'll open the kitchen door. Ribald jolliness can be heard from inside. The smell of hot of hot pot wafts tantalizingly towards you. Your explorations have borne fruit. You have found the kitchen. You can practically taste the pepper in the air. Having found the kitchen, you'll always be able to return to the Hallowed Hallway. I suppose that's a good thing. What exactly did that require? To have, a certain amount of staircase spelunking. And also, you'll need it to find the way. I did, didn't I? You are assailed with a wave of warmth and the aroma of bacon cooking on the cavernous stove. It seems that the real party is in here. Champagne corks pop. Someone is playing a viol, which is an instrument that I forgot was a thing. Cards are slapped onto the wooden table. A dozen flushed faces turn toward you, all beaming. And I can have myself dealt in. However, that's a chance. The game looks complex. I can help with the cooking, which is probably a better thing. It will use my supplies. Can I talk to the notorious flirt? Flirt is a noun? I suppose it can be. I can also search for Lord Langley, but I would need a caged catch, which apparently I don't have, which is a bit of a shame. So let's help with the cooking here. A party runs on its stomach. Oh, that's beautiful. I love the sound of that. The cook with the ocelot-patterned apron raises an eyebrow at your methodology, but does nothing to inhibit you beyond insisting that every dish contains a nip or 3 of cider. This comes from a flask in her apron. She gives you a wink every time she produces it. You create a bounty of sweetmeats and pasties, roasted cantankerry, and chorister parcels, delicious squirmings, fried whirlberry style. The cook tastes everything. She says nothing, but she does produce a hamper. She orders you to take a portion of everything before the other guests get their mitts on it. So I get uncanny specimens from that. That's not too bad. And our crew are growing comfortable in Langley Hall. Is that a bad thing? I suppose it might be a bad thing. Why did I do that? I suppose it's a way to trade that. Let's have myself dealt in, I suppose. It's not... I'm sure I'm not gonna die. Time to play cards? Absolutely. And I succeeded at a 40% chance, which means I will get some money, I suppose. There are 214 cards compiled from a variety of decks, so that though there are 6 aces of bats, each bears a different hue and a different function within the game. You may pair 6s, queens, and 4s, but never 7s. An ace held for more than 7 rounds can be exchanged for another card, but you may not choose which. The other players muddle through, seemingly as mystified as you are. The dealer is a wizened old man. He does not play, but he does arbitrate to rules with extreme vigor. You come out ahead, though you're not sure how, and the warmth of the hall feels like a cozy blanket settled around your shoulder. Outside is cold, inside is safe. Let's talk to the notorious flirt, I suppose. She disarms would-be suitors with bon mots, which just means good words, I suppose, in French. Actually, I say bon, but it's not. It's bon mots. And also, I don't think it's mots. It's mot? Bon mot? Bon mot. Yeah, I think that's how it's pronounced. But this one might be one of the exceptions. Because I think specifically the T for some words in French gets pronounced, the T at the end of a word, and I don't know, I've never heard of this word, the word for word, this just means word, being pronounced, so there it is. Anyway, she disarms the would-be suitors that stay just on this side of good taste. What does that actually mean? I've never seen such a cheap copy of a person, she says, through a mouthful of wine. And I have been to the Forge of Souls. Exactly what just happened. Let's return to the hallway here. And I suppose... Let's, return to the kitchen. Wait, I can leave now. Oh, because I need to recover my hat. Right. Let's explore Langley Hall. And I can now trade this. An amiable cartographer has made a mission of mapping all Eleutheria. He resides in Langley Hall, where he started his venture. Of course, I've not seen the whole thing, but I thought I'd best try to see the rest of the region instead. I'm not getting any younger, and that seems a more achievable goal, though Piranesi's going to give me some trouble, let me tell you. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So let's get both that as well as this down here, which we will do again. Bloody marvelous thing. And I can look at all the things that I've unlocked. I can intrude upon the bathroom. That sounds awfully rude. You'll need to find a way. Oh, it requires a Bohemia affiliation, which is a pretty high thing. It also requires 30 spelunking thingy. This one is even higher. It requires 40. To climb up the Solarium. Let's go with that. Light, white, and fervent spills from above. A frosted glass door, garlanded with stained roses, stands ahead. Your explorations have borne fruit. You have found the way to the Solarium. Bathed in such radiance, all other light seems anodyne. Though in Langley Hall it does not look out on anywhere in Eleutheria, where sunlight has been extinguished. Golden light pours through the glass dome, gilding the faces of the astronomers, aristocrats, and assorted hangers on the congregate here. Or, assorted hangers on, right, people who hang on, who congregate here. The conversation is polite, dignified. Plates of sandwiches circulate. Someone is passing glasses of sparkling wine around. Everyone looks out of the main window, which faces some distant sun, chained in the imperial sky. Langley's hall draws some part of itself from farther afield than others. And I can make polite conversation. However, I don't have tea. Also, I don't have establishment things. So that's it is to right here. So I'm gonna return. Let's explore Langley Hall and see if I can do anything about this. I don't. Oh, I can. I can continue to... Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, let's intrude upon the bathroom. Inside you can hear running water and the sound of someone being indecorously sick. Why am I doing this? I'm doing it. Your explorations have borne fruit. You have finally found the lavatory. I suppose that is a word for bathroom. There is a queue for the stalls. A notorious vaudeville act is occupying the nearest and is emptying their stomach noisily. A cluster of lesser lights has assembled around the door to ostentatiously offer sympathy. Someone has set up an impromptu bar by the sinks. Perched on an upturned bin, a fiddler plays along with a trombonist. A flautist waits for their time to interject. Actors, dancers, and poets take turns performing, entertaining, and competing with their peers. And I just came to use the bathroom, or I can show off, which I can't. Oh, I will, actually. Because my origin is a poet. I suppose I belonged to the Celestial School. I didn't even look at the chance. The chance was terrible, actually, and I succeeded, I think. 57%. I think I succeeded. It didn't show the success thing, but there it is. Bottles crash and shatter on the tiles as space is cleared by the sinks for your recital. Eager hands lift you to perch upon the porcelain. Your toes dip into the wine, sloshing about the sink. I don't know what that means. Eyes bright with intoxication gaze up at you. You rhapsodize on the themes dearest to the hearts of Langley Hall's guests. Companionship, mutability, refuge. Your verse might be slurred, but you fire up your audience as easily as stoking a boiler. They adore you. And I have gained a moment of inspiration, which I suppose is a good way to... I also lost Sky Stories, so I can keep doing this to gain moments of inspiration. It didn't give me the success pop-up, though. I failed there. What exactly does that do? Tale of Terror. Bottles crash and shatter on the tiles as space is cleared. Okay, that's the same. Like Turnus, you chance fortune. You produce your most avant-garde work. You go on at length. When you finally run out of breath, there is silence. No one applauds. No one even laughs. Or no, I suppose no one even laughs. They just look at you. Okay, well, it's fine. It's fine that they look at me, and I can continue doing that until I get... I'll go for another one. We have a lot of Sky Stories. Aww. Getting a lot of Tales of Terror. We also have a lot of Tales of Terror. There we go. That's good enough. Because we're gonna spend a little bit of that in the purchase of the things. Gimme. There we go. So moment of inspiration. How many do we have? We're gonna spend 3. I think it's a good. That's as many as we got. I don't know if we need to use these. Snorting nearby. Whoa, that was different. No, it's just some text, flavor text. Yeah. That flavor text I actually skip a lot. So we have the little lounge. We have, what does that require? 20, we got 50 over there, and we got 80 over here. So we keep getting very high level stuff. Okay, so we can just keep investing money, I suppose. Let's go with the easier ones, because we know they don't actually get spent. I thought the spelunking actually got spent, but it doesn't. I'm gonna enter the little lounge. A door yawns open atop the next landing. Inside, candlelit sleep. Your exploration have borne fruit. You have found the door to the little lounge. The sound of snoring is quite loud. The lamps are low, giving the room a warm amber glow. The wood paneling is dark. The wainscoting is decorated with sleeping cats. A fire, orange as a harvest moon, blazes in the hearth. Guests slumber on the enormous sofas, or else whisper to each other from the armchairs. Wherever you look, there are glasses of mulled wine. This is very cozy. I like it a lot. This will cost me a crew member if I rest, though, because of course they will want to stay forever. I like this a lot. I can share a story as well. That is a 44% chance. I can also search for Lord Langley's chair, where I can attempt to leave. Apparently that you cannot linger here forever. That has a chance. It's a 100% chance, but yeah. Let's search for the chair. It sits unoccupied, far from the fire. It gathers dust and curious glances. I failed, though. I don't actually know what that entails. It would be best were your investigation not scrutinized. You wait for the opportune moment when enough of the guests are drowsing, wine-sodden and languid, to creep to the chair. It is a high-backed velvet horror that resembles a bat turned inside out. It creaks damnably if you so much as brush against it. It requires a steady hand and limitless concentration to fish around the crevices. You find coinage, crumbs, and dust. The springs are damnable. The patterning lamentable. Finally, your hands hook around what's this? A map. A map directing you to the study. A terrible chair is the name of that thing. You discovered a map leading to the study on the 16th stair. Why was that a failure, though? Let's attempt to leave. You cannot linger here forever. You make for the door. A few languorous hands extend from various sofas, footstools, and poofs. Is that how it is in English? I think what that is a beanbag chair. That's what a poof is. Because that's what we call in Portuguese beanbag chairs. We don't have a word for that, like that translates from beanbag chair. Because it's also not a chair, it's just a poof. You know what I mean? It's a poof, right? Anyway, but you pay them no heed. The door opens with a reluctant creak. The air is colder outside. The light's harsher. I'm gonna knock for admittance to the yellow drawing room. The yellow... Oh, we also needed to come over here. The yellow-white stuccoed door is shut. There are some formalities to be observed, even here. Your explorations have borne fruit. You have found the way to the yellow drawing room, where voices drone from within. The room is warmed by a number of candles on silver trays. The flickering light renders the yellow wallpaper the color of melting butter. Volunteers creep about the room, topping up brandy, ironing fresh newspapers, and clearing away spent candles. A few faces glance up as you enter, but none look longer than briefly. If you wish to engage with the occupants, you must work to capture their interest. And I can give a speech, or I can offer a recital, or I can introduce them to a new game, which looks pretty decent actually, although I only have 2 Visions of Heavens, and I probably don't want to use that all that much. So I'll go with that one, hopefully. I can also attempt to identify Lord Langley's friend. Let's go ahead and do that first off. You've been told Lord Langley's confidant is in this room. And I fail. My god. You think... I just gained terror. Okay. You think you spy your target mournfully decanting brandy. Their hands shake. Their mustaches quiver. A nervous disposition brought on by the absence of their friend or by the terrible secrets burdened upon them with which they have been sworn never to reveal? Almost certainly. What follows is an excruciating conversation wherein the person believes you to be no less than the very architect of their misery in London, which has reduced them to such a pitiable state. They spare no detail of the horrors done unto them, and pray you look to the state of your very soul. You leave confused, but remonstrated, which I suppose is fair. Then we try again. A woman stands by herself, smoking a long cigarette. Her eyes are pale, yellow, devilish. Those eyes, like drowned suns, meet yours across the room. I've heard of you, Doctor. You've been asking questions. As it happens, I'm tired of waiting for answers. She opens the watch on her wrist. Inside, not cogs, but a soul, emerald and jaundiced. His, for safekeeping. No, don't look at me so. I'm not, nor was ever, the type to be his lover. She sighs, perhaps regret, perhaps pity. He was waiting for someone. He told me he wouldn't remember who he was. He told me he thought he might find him in the laundry. She blows out a puff of smoke. No, she blows a puff of smoke out. She says, you tell me. Perhaps it will all come out in the wash. So I'll need to find the laundry cupboard in the Langley Hall. Okay, that was a success, so it might actually do something. I will also give a speech here, something of London perhaps. Not as it is or was, but as it should be, with a hiccup. This will exchange your ministry-stamped permit for ministry-approved literature. Oh, it actually tells me what it is. Oh. I don't need that, I don't think. I mean, actually, ministry-approved literature is an item. This one is not an item, so I don't need that. But I suppose that is a thing. Let's then explore the Langley Hall. And I can peek inside the upstairs laundry cupboard. It dominates the landing like your aunt at a dinner party. You can hear giggling coming from within. Your explorations have borne fruit. You have found the way to the upstairs laundry cupboard, which smells of fresh linen and spilt wine. You pull the doors open and are met with the smell of fresh laundry and spilt wine. Voluminous blankets, an impossibility of towels, and an improbable amount of bedding conceals most of the cupboard from view. But from somewhere much further inside, you can hear the unmistakable sound of giggling. And I can look for the Lord, I suppose. Who is in here? Lord Langley searched the cupboard for someone. The cupboard is vast. You'll need more than luck to get anywhere. I will indeed need a moment of inspiration and the 2 in 3 chances of success. And I did. You plunge into the cupboard. How did Lord Langley accumulate so much stuff? Maps of the house, tracings of correspondence, sigils, barrels of spent hours, and some really unpleasant paintings of clocks. Dust rises like mist in a penny dreadful. You see a light ahead, an unusual standard lamp, almost like the last lamp post in miniature, stands on a sheet of paper. On the paper is a drawing of 2 men dancing. The lamp has been placed in such a way that it separates them. On one side is a moonlit house, on the other, with the other men, the stars. It is an effective, if unhelpful, piece. It is clearly a sign, but for someone else. And I can continue searching, or I can search the cupboard. Who's in here? A cupboard is vast. You'll need more than luck to get anywhere. So that will still cost that, but... let's do it. I succeeded. It will still cost a moment of inspiration, which is a bit of a shame. You enter the cupboard, avoiding concussion from pillows tumbling from the top shelf, and begin to explore. It really is cavernous. If you were to die here, no one would ever find you. I'm sorry, were you invited? The notorious flirt puts down her book down. Oh no, she's not talking. Beside her, the doctor in the taupe waistcoat looks up from a copy of Ovid's Ars Amatoria. Would you like to join us? You leave the cupboard sometime later, much improved, and I gained 1 ministry-approved literature. Which I suppose is a good thing. That's what you trade for in there. So I can return to all these places if I want to. So these are basically the rooms that this place has. Or not rooms, but I guess, you know, the services that this place has. It's a very different way of building a place. Because it is still, at the end of the day, it's still the same sort of logic to all places, except this one is a little bit scary and very disorienting. Lovely, very well written. Apart from the things with the compound verbs. But anyway, I'm gonna recover my coat and my hat. You'll be leaving soon. The doctor guides you to your effects with admirable efficiency. I always remember where someone leaves their things. I trained for medicine, but this is preferable. It requires the same attention to detail and personal attention, but involves considerably less mess. Everything in its place, nothing ever goes wrong, and it wouldn't matter much if it did. Here you are. And I can now leave Langley Hall. It is time. The post officer escorts you to the dock. Not good to go out in the dark alone, Doc. He shadows you all the way to your engine. He waits on the platform as you make ready for departure. Even as the dark rolls in to swallow your engine, the amber light from his lantern lingers. We don't actually leave immediately because we are going to buy some... Well, actually, we are going to leave immediately. But not in this episode because we're out of time. So for right now, I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Sunless Skies. I really hope you've enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and leave a comment. Like the video if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. But above all, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next episode. Bye-bye.